Hotel and to the world-famous march of the Peabody Ducks. My name is Doug and I'll be your duck master today. You know who you are, but whoever you are today, you're the honored guest of the Peabody Hotel. Now, it is said that the Delta begins in the lobby of the Peabody Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee, and ends on Catfish Row in Natchez, Mississippi. Excuse me, that's Vicksburg. Got it wrong. Vicksburg, Mississippi. It's also said that this hotel has 13 stories. That's not true. It's got thousands of stories. Stories about visiting presidents from Harry Truman to George W. Bush, diplomats and dignitaries, and movie stars from Tom Cruise to Oprah to James Earl Jones. Also the birth of rock and roll from early rockers Elvis and his buddies in the Memphis $1 Million Quartet. Now, it also has seen the big band in the historic Skyway room up on the roof in the 30s and the 40s with Les Brown and Glenn Miller and singers like Sinatra and so forth. Now, it all started back in 1869 when Colonel Robert, when the Colonel built a hotel just 2 blocks from here over at Monroe and Maine. And he named the hotel the Brinkley House in honor of course, him and his construction crew. But unfortunately, this hotel, which was to be to set the tone for elegance and cuisine in the South, had their prime investor, Mr. George Peabody, a good friend of Colonel Brinkley's, passed away in that year, 1869, and he changed the name of the hotel from the Brinkley House to the Peabody Hotel. And he stayed there in that location some 55 years. And in 1925, September the 1st, the doors opened this beautiful facility we see here today. Now that's not the whole history of this hotel by a long shot. If you get a chance after the concert, if you'll go up on the mezzanine level and check the memorabilia room up there, push the red button, and you'll see you'll hear a rundown of all the names and faces and the documents of the decades leading up to today in this hotel. My favorite is an urgent memo from the managing director, Mr. Gary Bells, to the food and beverage director that day, stating there will be no duck served in any restaurant of this hotel. Now the tradition of duck in the hotel goes back a long way. In fact, in 1933, when the general manager that day, Mr. Shutt, and his buddy, Chip, went on a duck hunting trip over into the cold waters of Mississippi and Arkansas. They knew it was going to be a cold day, so they took along another companion, a certain Jack Daniels, and otherwise known as Fine Tennessee whiskey, and just for encouragement and for warmth on a cold day. But toward the end of the day, apparently they were a little too encouraged, and they started to think it would be a really funny idea to bring these duck decoys that they had, live duck decoys, back to the fountain and release them. Well, they did, and then they sneaked off to the rooms to swoop it off. The next morning, Mr. Shutt was a little concerned about the mayhem that may have been caused the night before from his misdeed, and so he rushed down to the lobby, and he found 2 surprises. Number 1, the ducks were still there. They hadn't flown off to see the sights in Memphis. And number 2, there was a crowd of tourists and guests that had gathered. They were delighted by the ducks splashing in the fountain. So the ducks were given a reprieve, and it turned into a 78-year tradition. Now, in 1940, Mr. Edward Pembroke was hired as a bellman here at the Peabody, but that wasn't his only talent. He had also been an animal trainer with Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, and he told management upon his hiring, if you'll let me, that I'll train 5 North American mallards, 1 male and 4 females, to march from the duck palace on the roof, across the rooftop to the elevator, down across the red carpet, and into the fountain, every day at 11 o'clock. And I'll take them back at 5 o'clock. Well, they said, Edward, go ahead and see what you can do. And he did. For 50 years, Mr. Pembroke guided ducks from the hotel rooftop down to the lobby and back. And in so doing, he made himself an ambassador of goodwill for the hotel and for the city of Memphis. He appeared in such venues as The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and the Sesame Street program, where they celebrated National Rubber Ducky Day. But they also did spreads and magazines and so forth. I'm thinking someone who does his job so long and so well, has mastered what they do, wouldn't you? Well, the manager of the hotel thought so they bestowed upon Mr. Pembroke the title of Duck Master, the world's first Duck Master here at the Peabody Hotel. Now, he's no longer with us, but Mr. Pembroke's spirit remains here in this lobby, and over on the wall near the south entrance, there's a color photo picture of him and his beloved ducks looking down on us today. Well, that's going to conclude my introduction to the duck march and the history of the Peabody Hotel. I'm going to go up now to the rooftop and retrieve our 5 feathered guests, bring them back down to the lobby level, and at 11 o'clock those doors will open and you too will be witness to the march of the world famous Peabody Ducks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.